So today's session on time and work. It's a very important chapter for all the aspirants who are preparing for CAT and other management entrance examinations. So here in time and work, we should understand the basic understanding of ratios also, and ratios, proportions, and as well as variations. We already studied all these ratio, proportion, variations in our previous classes. So I would like to once again introduce you the relation between time and work. Time and work, how these two are related. So for example, I am able to do some 5 units of work in one day. In 2 days, I can do 10 units of work. In 3 days, I can do 15 units of work. Like that, in 10 days, I can do 50 units of work. Here, what I am taking as constant, I am assuming that I am working with the same efficiency. I am working with the same efficiency. So, what you understand here, when the work done is directly proportional to time taken. Work done is directly proportional to time taken. Here efficiency is constant. Efficiency is constant. So we can say here W1 by W2 is equal to T1 by T2. The amount of work done is directly proportional to time taken. Okay, like that. Time and work are directly proportional. Directly proportional. The more time I take, the more work I can do if I am working with the same efficiency. Same efficiency. For example, I am able to complete the work. I am completing a work in 5 days. My friend is completing in 2 days. Whose efficiency is said to be more? My friend's efficiency. जो काम मैं 5 दिन में कर रहा हूं, मेरा दोस्त 2 दिन में कर रहा है. So जो कम टाइम ले रहे हैं, उनका efficiency ज्यादा है. So what we can say, efficiency is inversely proportional to time taken. Here what is constant? Work is constant. Work is constant. The work done, when the work done is constant, efficiency is inversely proportional to time. So efficiency 1 into time 1 is equal to efficiency 2 into time 2. Efficiency and time are inversely proportional. So now we have got different terms like work, time, efficiency. When the efficiency is constant, work done is directly proportional to time. When the work is constant, the efficiency is inversely proportional to time taken, which is very important. It is very important. Efficiency and time taken are inversely proportional. Inversely proportional. So, for example, a person can complete a work in n days. A person takes n days to complete a work. The work done by him in 1 day is how much? 1 by nth of total work. 1 by nth of total work. If a person takes n days to complete a work, then in 1 day he can do 1 by nth of total work. For example, a person is able to complete 10 units in 5 days. 10 units in 5 days. In 1 day he can do 1 by 5th of 10 units, which is 2 units. His work is 2 units per day. 2 units per day. So that is his efficiency per day. Whatever he is doing in 1 day is said to be his capacity, his efficiency per day. Efficiency per day. So efficiency is inversely proportional to time. And remember, salaries or shares or wages are paid to individuals according to their efficiencies. So salary is Directly proportional. Salary is directly proportional to their efficiency. Their efficiency. Salaries are shares. Sharing is done according to their efficiency. So these are the basic things which you need to understand. Efficiency here means per day work. Per day work. Per day work. So I am taking per day work as efficiency, and those who are doing more work per day, they will be paid more. Though and salaries are paid according to efficiency, and efficiency ratio is inverse of time ratio. For example, see, two persons have taken 4 hours and 6 hours to complete a work. Thereby, the times taken in the ratio 2 is to 3. When times taken in the ratio 2 is to 3, their efficiencies will be in the ratio 3 is to 2 to complete the work. So like that, this basic understanding you need to have. Time and work. Now, let us see some questions, and while discussing questions, I will tell you more techniques. After can do a piece of work in 12 days, and Ravi can do the same work in 18 days. If Aftab starts the work and quits after working for 3 days, then in how many days will the remaining work be completed by Ravi alone? So Aftab is doing in 12 days and Ravi is doing in 18 days. They are doing the same work. What is that same work? That same work I am taking as the LCM of 12 and 18. 12 and 18, the LCM is 36. Thereby, in one day, the work done by A in 12 days he is completing 36. So in one day A is doing 3 units. Similarly, in 18 days he is completing 36 units. So in one day B is doing 2 units. 18 days 36. So one day 2 units is done by B if he is working alone. Similarly, A 12 days 36, one day 3. And what is given here? After B means Ravi here. Okay, Aftab started the work and quits after working for 3 days. So Aftab 3 days working, 3 units per day. So 3 into 3, 9 units is done by Aftab alone. Then after 3 days he is leaving. Now what is the total work? 36. Out of 36, 9 units is completed. 36 minus 9, remaining is 27 units. This has to be done by Ravi. What is Ravi's capacity? 2 units per day. To complete 27 units, 2 units per day, Ravi required 13 and a half days. So the remaining work 27 units is completed by Ravi alone. 2 per day in how many days? 13.5 days. So answer is option A. I hope it is clear. Now next question. Efficiency of Ravi and Mayank of doing the same work is 3:2. If they together can complete a piece of work in 18 days. So the efficiencies ratio of Ravi and Mayank are given as 3:2. If Ravi efficiency is 3 per day, Mayank efficiency is 2 per day. So 3 plus 2, 5 units they are doing in one day if they are working together. Like that in 18 days. 5 into 18, 90 units will be the total work. Because total work they are completing in 18 days working together. 90 units is total work. In how many days Ravi can complete alone? Ravi's capacity is 3 per day. Ravi alone can finish this 90 units in how many days? 90 by 3 per day, which is 30 days. So answer is Ravi alone can complete this 90 units in 30 days. 30 days. Next, question number 3. A tap can fill an empty tank in 12 hours and the leakage can empty half tank in 10 hours. If the tap and leakage are working, then when the tank is empty, then how long will it take for the tank to be filled to half of its capacity? Please see here, this is the tank. Okay, so a tap can fill, one is a filling tap, and there is a leakage here. There is a leakage here. This filling tap can fill in 12 hours, and the leakage can empty half tank in 10 hours. Half tank can empty half tank in 10 hours, means it can empty full tank in 20 hours. 20 hours. Okay, now the tap and leakage are working when the tank is empty. How long will it take for the tank to be filled to half of its capacity? One is taking 12 hours time to fill, the other is taking 20 hours time to empty. 12 and 20, what is the LCM? 60. So tank capacity is 60 units. Tank capacity is the LCM of 12 and 20. Why I am taking LCM? I can take any figure as tank capacity. But if I take like 90, it is not divisible. So if I take a number which is divisible by both 12 and 20, I will get the values in the integral form. Otherwise, I will get fractions. So the total tank capacity I am taking as the LCM units of given time. 12 and 20 LCM is 60. The total tank capacity is 60. Thereby A, the inlet pipe, the inlet and outlet. The inlet fills in 12 hours. Thereby in 1 hour, it can fill 6 hours. It can 12 hours 60. 1 hour 5. 1 hour it can fill 5. Outlet is emptying full tank in 20 hours. 20 hours 60. So 1 hour it is emptying 3. Emptying I am representing with minus. It is doing negative work. It is doing positive work. It is doing negative work. It is doing positive work. So for positive work, the number of units are positive. For negative work, number of units are negative. Now, if the inlet and the outlet both are open, how long will it take to fill half the capacity? So when the inlet and outlet both are working, 5 filling, 3 emptying, to fill 2 units, it takes 1 hour. So to fill half the tank capacity, 30 units. For 2 units, if it is taking 1 hour, for 30 units, it takes 15 hours. So answer is 15 hours. 15 hours. Next. Question number 4. Pipe A can fill an empty tank in 8 hours and pipe B can empty the full tank in 4 more hours. 4 more hours means what? 8 plus 4, which is 12. If both the pipes are open simultaneously, then how long will it take to fill an empty tank? So similarly, 8 and 12. 8 and 12, what is the LCM? 24. So here, tank capacity is 24 units. So pipe A is filling tank, doing positive work, and pipe B is doing negative work. 8 hours it can fill 24. So in 1 hour it can fill 3 units. Whereas the emptying pipe can empty the full tank in 12 hours. 12 hours 24 emptying. So in 1 hour 2 units it is emptying. When both pipes A and B are open, it is filling 3, it is emptying 2. So when both A and B are open, they together can fill 1 unit, 3 minus 2, 1 unit in 1 hour. So to fill 24 units, the total tank, For 1 unit, if it is taking 1 hour, for 24 units, it will take 24 hours. So answer is option B. Option B. Now question number 5. Sanjay can wash a truck in 45 minutes and he works for 6 hours a day. How many trucks can he wash in 3 days? In 3 days. So please see here, Sanjay can wash a truck in 45 minutes and he works 6 hours for a day. 6 hours per day. So 6 hours means 6 into 60 minutes. So 360 minutes is the total time he can work. For one truck he is taking 45 minutes. Thereby, for one truck 45 minutes, in 360 minutes he can wash 8 trucks. 8 trucks per day. Then in 3 days, how many trucks? 1 day, 8 trucks. So 3 days, 24 trucks. So answer is 24. Next, N men can do a piece of work in 8 days. 8 days. The same work can be done by N plus 4 men in 6 days. Then find the value of N. Value of N. So here see. Please understand here. When M1 persons can do a work in D1 days and M2 persons can do the same work in D2 days, then we can write M1 D1 is equal to M1 M2 D2. Here M1 is given as N and D1 is given as 8. M2 is given as N plus 4 and D2 is given as 6. So here what I can do is how much? 4, 2 4s are 2 3s are 4n minus 3n. N is equal to 12. N is equal to 12 is the answer. Please understand here, without doing all these things, what is given here? Same work. When the work is same, efficiency and time are inversely proportional. So here times ratio is given. Time taken by first person and time taken by second person are in the ratio 8:6, means 4:3. Thereby efficiency ratio means here N efficiency, here N plus 4 efficiency. This efficiency ratio would be 3:4. When times ratio is 4:3, efficiency ratio would be 3:4. So 4n is equal to 3n plus 12, thereby n is equal to 12. N is equal to 12 is the answer. It is based on your what? Ratio method. This is based on formula method. M1 persons are doing a work in D1 days and M2 persons are doing the same work in D2 days. Then we can write M1 D1 is equal to M2 D2. Okay. Next. Harveen can do a piece of work in 18 days. He worked for 12 days and left. Deepak finished the remaining work in 8 days. In how many days can Deepak alone complete the work? See, this is the total time taken by Harveen. This is the 18 days time taken by Harveen to complete the work. Out of these, he worked for how many days? 12 days. He is working for 12 days. 12 out of 18 is how much? 2/3. 2/3. 12 days out of 18 is how much? 12 by 18 is 2/3. So 2/3 of work is done by whom? Harveen. The remaining is done by whom? Deepak. Remaining is how much? Remaining is 1/3. Remaining is 1/3. 2/3 is done by Harveen. Remaining 1/3 is done by Deepak. This remaining 1/3 is done by Deepak in how many days? 8 days. So out of total 3 parts work, if total work is 3 parts, Deepak is doing 1 part work in 8 days. This remaining work is 1 part. This 1 part he is doing in 8 days. Then Deepak alone can complete the total work 3 parts in how many days? 24 days. So answer is 24 days. Next. So Munchun can do a piece of work in 20 days. What? Chunmun alone can do it in 10 days. Both worked together and were paid 1800 rupees. The share of Chunmun is how much? M and C. So the times taken by them to complete a work, one is taking 20 days, the other is taking 10 days. So the ratio of the times taken is 2:1. So the efficiencies would be 1:2. So the sharing is done according to the efficiency. The efficiency ratio is the sharing ratio. So 1:2. 1 part for M and 2 parts for C. So both together 3 parts. The 3 parts total amount is 1800. 3 parts 1800 means C is how many parts here? 2 parts. 3 parts 1800 means 1 part 600, 2 part 1200. So answer is option A. I hope you are following the things here. If you can understand the things clearly, then our further sheet, next sheet would be very clear to you. Okay. Now question number 9. Question number 9. Sahid can do 2/3 of work in 18 days. In how many days he can do 1/4 of work? 1/4 of work. See, I already told you, work done is directly proportional to time taken. Okay, so time taken, time ratio T1 by T2 is equal to W1 by W2. Okay, and here it is given that initially it is taking 18 days. The final time taken is how much? The first work is 2/3. Then next work is 1/4. 2/3 by 1/4 is nothing but 8 by 3. Am I correct? 18 by T2 is equal to 2 4s are 8 by 3. So 2 4s are 2 9s are. So T2 is equal to 27 by 4. 27 by 4 means how much? 6.75. 6.75 days. I hope it is clear. Next, A can do half as much work as B in 1 day. B alone can do it in 12 days. B alone can do it in 12 days. A can do half as much work as B. It means if B does 2 units a day, A does 1 unit a day. Okay. So if B does 2 units a day, A does 1 unit a day. In other words, it also means that B will take twice the time taken by A in doing the same quantity of work. So time taken by A is twice time taken by B. These are efficiencies we have taken. Efficiencies ratio is 1:2. Thereby times ratio would be 2:1. 2:1. B alone is doing B alone is taking 1 part time. That 1 part is given as 12. So A will take 2 parts time. 1 part is 12 means 2 parts is 24. Now in how many days A and B together can finish a work? Now I am giving a shortcut. See, A is doing a work in X time and B is doing a work in Y time. Then both together A and B can complete the work in how much time means XY divided by X plus Y. Directly you can apply. So here A is taking 24 days, B is taking 12 days individually, thereby 24 into 12 by 24 plus 12. So how much you are going to get here? It is nothing but 8. 12 3 is 36, 3 8 is 24. So answer is 8 days. Answer is 8 days. Is it clear? Answer is 8 days. Next, if 35 persons can do a piece of work in 6 days, in how many days 15 persons can do it? Just now I was telling M1 D1 is equal to M2 D2. If M1 persons can do a work in D1 time, M2 persons can do the same work in D2 time, then M1 D1 is equal to M2 D2. So 35 persons can do a work in 6 days. 15 persons can do the work in how many days? How many days? So 5 3s are, 5 7s are, 3 2s are. So 7 2s are how much? 14. So answer is 14 days. So here, if you observe here, efficiency ratio is given. Efficiency initially 35, finally 15. So efficiency ratio is 7:3. Thereby time taken ratio would be 3:7. So initially if it is taking 3 parts time, finally it will take 7 parts time. This 3 parts is given as 6 days. If 3 parts is 6 days, then 7 parts should be how much? 3 into 2 is 6, 7 into 2 is 14. So answer is 14 days. Answer is 14 days. This is ratio method. This is formula method. Next, A and B can complete a piece of work in 15 days. A is 50% more efficient than B. So what does it mean? A is 50% more efficient than B means if B is 100, A is 150. Thereby the ratio of their efficiencies is 53 ja 52 ja. 3:2 is the ratio of efficiencies. A and B together, A plus B together can complete a work in 15 days. In 1 day they are doing 5. In 15 days they can complete 15 into 5, 75 units, which is the total work. Now the question is here, how long would A take to complete the work alone? A alone can finish the total work in how much time? 75 units. A's capacity is 3 per day. 75 by 3. Here A is taking 25 days alone to complete the work. So answer is none of these. Answer is none of these here. Here answer is 25. 40 persons can finish a piece of work in 60 days. If 40 persons start the work and at the end of every 10 days, 40 more persons of the same efficiency join them, then how long will it take for the entire work to be finished? So see here, M into D is equal to constant. M1 D1 is equal to M2 D2. So what does it mean? Efficiency into time is constant. 40 persons can finish a piece of work in 60 days. So 40 into 60. This 2400 is the total work. Is the total work to be done. 40 persons start the work. At the end of every 10 days, 40 more persons join. So first 40 days, first 10 days, you have 40 persons only. So first 10 days, 400 units is done. After first 10 days, in the next 10 days, you have 40 plus 40, which is 80. 80 into 10, which is 800 units is completed. After 20 days, more 10 days are added. 80 plus 40, 120. 120 into 10, how much? 1200. 1200 units is completed. So 1200 plus 800, 2000 plus 400, which is 2400 units is completed. In how many days here? 10 plus 10 plus 10, 30 days. So it will take 30 days time to complete the work in this procedure if 10 members, if for every 10 days if 40 members are included. I hope it is clear. A group of 18 men and 12 women can do a piece of work in 18 days. A woman takes as much time as a man to do the work. A woman takes twice as much time to do the work. So here times ratio are given for a woman and man. So times ratio is 2:1. So efficiencies ratio would be 1:2. If woman efficiency is 1, man efficiency is 2. And it is given that 18 men and 12 women can complete a work in 18 days. So 18 men, 18 into 2 plus 12 women, 12 into 1, 18 men and 12 women in 18 days. So 36 plus 12, 36 plus 12, which is 48. 48 into 18 is the total work. This total work can be completed by 8 men in how many days? This 48 into 18 is completed by 8 men in how many days? How many days is the question. So here men means how much? Men efficiency I have taken as 2. So 8 into 2, 8 into 2, 16 3s are 48. So 18 3s are 54. Thereby the question mark, the answer would be 54. Answer would be 54 is the answer. Next, question number 15. A and B can do a piece of work in 8 days. B and C can do the same work in 12 days. A, B, C together can finish the same work in 6 days. Then in how many days A and C together will do the same work? Please see here, A and B 8, B and C 12, A, B, C 6, 8, 12 and 6, LCM is 24. The total work is 24 units I am taking, which is the LCM. So find 1 day's work. Find 1 day's work. A plus B are doing how much? 8 days 24. So in 1 day A plus B are doing 3 units. B plus C are completing 24 units in 12 days. So 1 day 2 units. And A plus B plus C are completing 24 units in 6 days. Thereby 1 day A, B and C are doing 4 units. A and B are doing 3. A, B, C are doing 4. Therefore, C is doing how much? C is doing 1 unit. Okay, B plus C are doing 2. C is doing 1. So B is doing how much? 1. Okay, and it is given that A and B are doing 3, whereas B is doing 1. So A is doing 2. A is doing 2 because A and B together are doing 3. So now here A and C together can do 2 plus 1, 3 units per day. So to complete total work 24 units, A and C requires 8 days. So answer is 8 days. Answer is 8 days. Now question number 16. Question number 16. A is twice as good a workman as B. So the efficiencies ratio of A and B are given here. A is twice as good a workman as B means B's efficiency is 1, A's efficiency is 2. The ratio of their efficiencies is 2 is to 1. They together finish the piece of work in 14 days. Together A and B can finish 3 units of work in 1 day. Like that, in 14 days, 3 into 14, which is 42 units, is the total work. Now the question is the number of days taken by A alone to finish the work. A alone takes how much time? A capacity is 2 per day. To complete 42 units 2 per day, it takes 21 days. So answer is 21 days. Next, question number 17. A is 50% as efficient as B. C does half of the work done by A and B together. If C alone does the work in 40 days, then A, B, C together can complete the work in how many days? So please see here, C does half of the work done by A and B together. So what does it mean? A is 50% as efficient as B. A is 50% as efficient as B. If B's efficiency is 4, A's efficiency is 2. And C does half of the work done by A and B together. Half of the work done by A and B together means how much? 2 plus 4, 6 by 2, which is 3. If A's efficiency is 2, B's efficiency is 4, C's efficiency is 3. And C alone does the work in 40 days. C's capacity is 3 per day. 3 per day in 40 days. 3 into 40, so 120 units is the total work. Now the question is, A, B, C together can do the work in how many days? A can do 2, B can do 4, C can do 3. A plus B plus C together have to complete the total work 120 units at the rate 9 per day. So how much time it takes? 9, 13, you can say it is 3 3s are 3 40s are 40 by 3, 3 13s are 39, 1 by 3. 13, 1 by 3 days is the answer. So answer is option A. I hope it is clear. Now next question number 18. A and B can complete a piece of work in 15 days and 10 days respectively. They started doing the work together, but after 2 days, B had to leave and A alone completed the remaining work. So 15 and 10, LCM is 30. So total work I am taking as the LCM units, 30 units. So in 1 day, how much can A do? In 1 day, how much can B do? 15 days, A can do 30. 1 day, A can do 2 units. 10 days, B can do 30. 1 day, B can do 3 units. They started the work together. But after 2 days, B had left. So A and B started, okay, first 2 days. How much? 2 plus 3, 5 per day. 5 into 2, 10 units of work is completed in first 2 days. And after that, B had to leave. Out of 30 units, now 10 units is completed. Now the remaining work is 20. As B is leaving after 2 days, now the remaining work is to be done by A only. Now A has to complete this 20 units in how much time? 2 units per day. So 20 by 2, 10 days. So A alone is working for 10 days and they together are working for 2 days. Thereby the whole work completed in how many days? 2 plus 10, which is 12 days. So answer is 12 days. If it is asked for remaining work, the answer is 10. But it is asked for whole work. Whole work means first 2 days A and B together and A alone. Total 2 plus 10, 12 days is the answer. So you should not tick 10 by tempting here with the answer 10. It should not think the answer is 10. The answer is 12. The answer is 12. X and Y can do a piece of work in 20 days and 12 days respectively. X started the work alone and then after 4 days Y joined him. Y joined him till the completion of work. So in how many days the whole work is completed? So 20 and 12 LCM is 60. So the total work is 60 units. X can complete 60 units in 20 days and Y can complete 60 units in 12 days. So in one day X can complete 3 units. In one day Y can complete 5 units. X started the work alone. After 4 days Y joined. So first 4 days A alone is there. A alone is there. A alone is doing how much? 4 into 3. 12 units. 12 units. Y joined him till the completion of work after 4 days. So out of 60 units, if 12 units is completed by A alone, the remaining is 48 units. The remaining is 48 units. It is done by both X and Y. Both X and Y. In how many days the whole work is completed? So X and Y capacity together is how much? X and Y together can complete 3 plus 5, 8 units. 8 units in one day. So X plus Y can complete the remaining 48 units in 6 days. But is it asked for remaining work or total work? Total work. Total work means A alone 4 days. That is X alone. X alone 4 days. X and Y together 6 days. So answer is 4 plus 6, which is 10 days. So answer is 10 days. Answer is 10 days. Now the last question for today's foundation builder sheet 1. A does 4/5 of the work in 20 days. He then calls in B and they together finish the remaining work in 3 days. How long B alone would take to do the whole work? So let me take the total work as 25 minutes. Total work, otherwise please understand, A does 4/5 of piece of work in 20 days. So A requires to complete 4/5 of work. 4/5 of work. He requires 20 days. So complete total work. To complete total work, A requires how many days? 4 parts 20. So 5 parts 25 days. So A alone can complete the total work in 25 days. Right? After completion of 4/5 of work, he calls B and then they together finish the remaining work. So A and B are finishing remaining 1/5 work. Remaining 1/5 work in 3 days. In 3 days. So total work. Total means 5 parts. To complete one part, A and B together taking 3 days. 5 parts, 15 days. So A alone can complete the work in 25 days. A and B together can complete the work in 15 days. A alone 25 days, A and B together 15 days. Then B alone will complete the work in how many days? So if you observe here 25 and 15, the LCM is 75. The total work is 75 units. Here A alone is doing 25 days 75. So one day A alone is doing 3 units. A and B together are completing 75 units in 15 days. So 15 days 75 means one day 5 units. Now understand, A alone is doing 3, A and B together are doing 5. So B alone is doing how much? A alone 3, A and B together 5. So B alone is doing 2 units. B alone is doing 2 units per day. So B alone to complete 75 units of total work, it takes how much? 37.5 days. 37.5 days. This is the answer. So option C is the answer. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. And watch the video very keenly, and many concepts are involved here. So if you can understand each and every question solution conceptually, then the way the thought process will automatically develop, even if it is given in any kind of standard. Okay, so these 20 questions we worked on foundation today. In our next class, I will deal with the higher level sheet. Thank you so much. We will again meet in our next video.